Vibe so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp, they cut right through.
You know, and let's keep it real. That network, it isn't about delivering news anymore. I don't even know if it ever been about delivering news. It's really just a PR firm for the Democratic Party. And guess what? Their Trump obsessed far left strategy is backfiring spectacularly. Their ratings are in the toilet. And it's gotten so bad that these people are losing to CNN. And when CNN, the undisputed king of bland and boring and barely watch news, starts beating you, you know things have gone completely off the rails. And now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Rashida Jones, MSNBC's president, the first black executive to lead a major TV news network, she is stepping down. And sure, you know, she made history, you know, when she took over, but let's keep it a buck. No amount of history making can save that sinking ship. So she's out before Trump's even steps foot back in the White House. And why? Because the writing is on the wall. Their endless Trump bashing strategy, otherwise known as TDS or Trump derangement syndrome, it's worn thin. The people are over it. Viewers want substance, not nonstop wall-to-wall outrage. MSNBC put all their chips on the table on, they put all their chips on being the ultimate anti-Trump network, and now they're bleeding viewers faster than Joy Reid loses credibility. And that's saying a whole lot right there. And speaking of Joy Reid, where do we begin with this lady? I mean, she's practically a walking punchline at this point. Just recently, she was out there peddling another wild conspiracy theory, claiming that right-wing billionaires are somehow responsible for California's wildfires. She actually said that. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. She's like a conspiracy theorist with the press pass, man. And before we get into that, we got to have a quick message from our sponsor, Lear Capital, because when the media is in free fall, smart folks know it's time to invest in something real like gold or silver. Let me be brutally honest with you all. Our American values and financial system are under attack right now. You need to act fast and learn alternative ways to invest. That's why I trust Lear Capital for buying gold and silver. In today's volatile economic and political climate, precious metals can protect your wealth. Lear Capital has over 27 years of experience, thousands of five-star reviews, and more than 3 billion in trusted transactions. Here's what I recommend. Call Lear Capital today. 800-489-6450 or visit learrp.com to request their free gold and silver investor kit. You can take possession of your metals, store them, or even roll over an IRA or a 401k into a gold IRA with the same tax benefits. Plus, they're offering up to $15,000 in bonus gold for qualified purchases. Call today at 800-489-6450 or go to learrp.com for more information.
They acknowledge that whatever the initial cause of the fires, they were exacerbated by climate change, which has led to rising temperatures, longer fire seasons, and heightened drought conditions. Although, you know who does acknowledge climate change? The insurance companies that have been canceling policies in California due to the risk of climate change. And the people losing the most in Los Angeles County aren't the rich, faded celebrities like Mr. Woods who can afford to rebuild and to move into one of their other homes while they wait. It's the middle-class homeowners in places like Altadena, where an historic and stable black neighborhood has been all but wiped off the map and ignored by much of the press, while the vulture capitalists are already circling, hoping to snap up the burned-up properties for pennies on the dollar so they can hedge fund them into yet another batch of billionaire-owned overpriced rentals. But the worst part, other than the fires themselves, has been the lies. Though if there is one thing the billionaire right is, they are consistent. They want California, America's biggest state economy, because if they can take California and retrofit it with their ugly right-wing policies, the way they've ruined Florida and Texas and every other red state, where poverty rates are high and education is warped and non-white immigrants, pregnant women, victimized girls, and LGBTQ folks live in fear, then the fight for permanent control of America is basically over. They can drill and frack California till the fires this past week pale in comparison. They can rip out all the forests and hand over the land to developers, Florida style. They can drive out the brown people and the black and Asian people, or just sink them into the same apartheid they've created in Texas. And they will control enough electoral votes, if they control California, to never have to worry about another presidential election. The billionaire right knows that they cannot take California, home to Hollywood, San Francisco, and Kendrick Lamar, by culture. So they're looking to try to take it with lies and deceit.
She's hard to listen to. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. She is hard to listen to, and I'm sorry that you guys had to listen to that. Goodness gracious. So, according to Joy Reid, these shadowy billionaires are plotting to turn California into some kind of apartheid state, like Texas. What? An apartheid state. I mean, these people, the exaggerations, the comparisons that these people come up with are baseless, to say the least. Does she actually even believe this nonsense? Or is she just, making this stuff up for clicks? I'm trying to figure this out. I really am. But either way, this lady's pulling in $3 million a year to spew this type of garbage. $3 million a year to talk like that. And honestly, Joy Reid isn't worth $3 right now. I wouldn't trust her to babysit a houseplant. And meanwhile, the brain trust at MSNBC thinks dragging Rachel Maddow back into primetime five nights a week is going to save them. They really think that bringing Rachel Maddow in 5 nights a week in the primetime slot is going to save this failing propaganda network. Maddow, the queen of conspiracy theories and endless Russia rants, has been coasting on a cushy, y'all probably already know this, but $30 million a year deal for a once a week show. This lady was doing one show a week and earning $30 million. Somebody do the math on that. That's 52 weeks. I would assume that she probably, takes a couple weeks off for vacation. So we'd assume she's probably working 48 weeks, maybe. Somebody, I don't have my calculator in front of me right now. Somebody do the math on what that is. $30 million for about 48 weeks of work. Now, they're cutting her pay and making her work full time again. But I mean, you want to talk about a sweet deal? $30 million a year. Goodness gracious, man. Sounds pretty desperate to me. But they're betting on her Trump tirades to bring back some of the viewers. That's what they're hoping for. But here's the reality. Nobody cares anymore. Maddow is supposed to be their version of Tucker Carlson, except she's less interesting and far more predictable. And let's talk about the numbers for a second, because the numbers don't lie. In December, MSNBC's key demo, which is viewers aged 25 to 54, dropped to 55,000. 55,000. For context, Fox News pulled in over 290,000 in the same demo. MSNBC isn't just losing the race. They're being lapped by CNN, which is like losing to someone wearing flip-flops, the thong flip-flops at that. And what's their master plan? Supposedly, they're going to bring in more Republican voices and tone down the far left rhetoric. I mean, good luck with that. Good luck with that. And to be honest with you, who are the Republican voices that are going to be on this network? And will they actually get an opportunity to speak, or will they be shouted down and spoke over, similar to what happens, when Scott Jennings, is on shows, blasting folks, on CNN? I mean, after years of branding themselves as the anti-Trump, pro-woke outrage network, they've alienated half the country. Honestly, they've probably alienated a little more than half the country, but I'm being nice by saying half the country. And now they're trying to pivot, putting a Band-Aid on a sinking Titanic. I mean, they got a problem. They're in trouble over there. And here's the real problem with these folks. MSNBC, they've become the poster child for smug elitist media. Media, not journalism. Their host, Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, Joe Scarborough, you name it, they talk down to viewers while recycling the same tired talking points over and over and over again. People are sick and tired of being lectured to, and it shows. Add in, and you add, to the chaos behind the scenes, Rashida Jones stepping down, major budget cuts, Joy Reid reportedly being told to take a pay cut or get up out of here, Rachel Maddow being told to take a pay cut. Instead of that one day, you're going to work 5 days a week. You got a network that's in total disarray right now, getting their tail kicked by some of your favorite YouTubers out there. That's the truth. But here's the kicker. MSNBC is banking on Trump's return to reignite their ratings. You guys remember the last time he was in office, CNN, MSNBC, they made so much money talking Trump every day because people were watching it. But I don't know if that's going to work because they've lied so much. I don't know if the people would actually believe anything that they have to say. People, in my opinion, are done with the endless Trump hysteria. And the bottom line is that MSNBC, it's a sinking ship. And the next few months will determine if they sink or swim. My money's on the former. My money's on the fact that they are going to sink. And here's why. This is why. We're going to break it down real fast.
Now taking the lead in Bucks County.
NBC News now projects that in the battleground state of Georgia in the presidential race, Donald Trump has prevailed. The Republican Party will control the United States Senate. This is live from Howard University in Washington, D.C.
We still have votes to count. We still have states that have not been called yet. We will continue overnight to fight to make sure that every vote is counted. Thank you all.
A short and to-the-point statement from Cedric Richmond, the Harris campaign co-chair. You now see them turn as one to start to leave the grounds.
The evening was getting increasingly somber as people realized what this map is looking like. They turned off the TV set and just piped up the music because the room was starting to get increasingly somber.
We always knew it was going to be down to the blue wall, and the blue wall is still uncalled at this point. But it sounds like the Harris campaign is sort of keeping things tight in terms of whether or not they're going to string people along into thinking this is going to happen.
What they went to that venue tonight hoping to see and witness was a historic election of Kamala Harris to the presidency, was the end of the Trump era as they knew it. And so we don't know the outcome yet, but that is not what they are receiving. And they are being told to go home and wait till tomorrow.
And nothing that was true yesterday about how flawlessly this campaign was run is not true now. I mean, this really was an historic, flawlessly run campaign. Queen Latifah never endorses anyone. She came out and endorsed. She had every prominent celebrity voice. She had the Swifties. She had the Beehive. You could not have run a better campaign.
In Western Europe and in the UK and in the Middle East, people are waking up to this.
Oh, and they are.
I've gotten people from Western Europe who are extraordinarily alarmed and terrified.
May I reiterate, there are 2 of the 7 swing states that have been called by NBC News right now, which is Georgia and North Carolina. None of the other 5 states have been called at this point. You can see this is the battleground states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, the so-called blue wall. None of those states called by NBC News. In the swing state of Pennsylvania, NBC News now projects that presidential contest has been won by Donald Trump. It presents an insurmountable future here for Kamala Harris and for the Democratic ticket. Let's watch as Trump takes the stage in Palm Beach, Florida.
We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy?
Boy, it's going to be a real tough speech for her.
Wow. That was good. That was really good. And this right here, that's exactly why I think they're going to crater. That's why. They're never going to learn, man. They're never going to learn. They just can't seem to grasp that people don't care that much about Orange Man Bad anymore. They can't grasp it. Their entire strategy is built on this tired narrative, and they keep doubling down thinking that it'll somehow work once again. And spoiler alert, it's not going to work, man. People are over it. And unless they figure that out fast, they're headed straight to the bottom. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if they can. I mean, I guess maybe they could, they're already at the bottom, but maybe they can go a little further. I don't know. But it's obvious that MSNBC and the rest of mainstream media, they're tanking because they're completely fixated on the same tired topics. Trump, Elon Musk, Republicans, DEI, alphabet community issues, race protecting, protecting illegals, race or racism, you name it. That's what they're on. They've become so obsessed with pushing agendas that they've completely lost sight of what actually matters, and that's actually reporting real news. They're not reporting anymore. They're just reacting. They are shilling for the Democrat Party. They're pushing propaganda. They're the ones really pushing, and I hate to say it, but mis and disinformation, using their word against them. And frankly, it's exhausting, man. People are tuning out because they're tired of the endless outrage and division. And what viewers really want are stories that matter to them, stories that impact their daily lives.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp, they